So let's look at kind of the basics of how IPDPs interact with the QRIS system. So individual professional development plans are indeed required to move past level 1 of QRIS. So if you want your program to be a level 2, 3, or 4, you must implement, it is absolutely mandatory to implement some level of IPDPs in your program. And particularly, as I had mentioned earlier, this is evident, IPDPs are evident in Category 3, which is the Workforce Qualifications and Professional Development kind of section of QRIS. So I want to kind of take you into the QRIS standards and really highlight where the IPDP requirements lie. So I'm just going to kind of take you through an online tutorial of where to find these IPDP requirements. So by going to the URL that is highlighted in orange, you will find a document called the After School and Out of Time QRIS Standards. And when you scroll down throughout that document um, to the Workforce Qualifications and Professional Development section, you'll look and see that there are program administrator qualifications and professional development, the indicator 3A. And as you see, the main difference in level 1 between level 1 and level 2 is that there's no required evidence of IPDPs in level 1 for program administrators. However, when you move to level 2 and level 3, you'll see that these IPDP requirements come into play. So you see that for program administrators, they must have an individual professional development plan, an IPDP, that must be signed and completed regularly. Now, regularly is relatively subjective, but we recommend that you renew these IPDPs as frequently as possible, particularly at the biannual or annual mark. For level 3, you see that the main difference in level 2 and level 3 on the program administrator level is the idea that in level 3, the IPDP is actually more time-bound and process-oriented. So as you move throughout the levels, the individual professional development plan actually becomes more and more complex. So again, like I had mentioned, there are two distinct types of IPDP requirements, and one is related to the program administrator. And just to review, the program administrator, as defined by the QRIS frameworks, holds the responsibility for the direction of the program. So this person is really responsible for developing the program's mission, goals, policies, and overseeing the financial management, HR management, and organizational development of the program. So again, like I had mentioned, at level 1, no IPDP is required for that program administrator. However, in level 2, you see that the program administrator must have an IPDP that is signed regularly. In level 3, you'll see that it addresses processes and timelines. So again, a little bit more complex. Another aspect of level 3 is that indicated in the IPDP must be kind of a goal that's associated with moving the program administrator from a level 3 program administrator to the next level of administrator qualifications. And you'll see what those aspirational level 4 IPDP areas are. So, an IPDP at level 4 for a program administrator must address the areas of identified needs. It must also address the goals and objectives that are necessary to the position. And just to, I'm sure this is relatively straightforward, but each level builds off of one another. So, in order to be a level 4, you must do all of the things within level 3, level 2, and level 1. So, level 4 is by far the most complex IPDP. The other main requirement for the IPDP deals with the site coordinator. And just again to refresh, the site coordinator is actually, the day-to-day program operations point person. And that person is responsible for supervising staff, interacting with families and external relationships, and also overseeing the program activities. So looking at the site coordinator IPDP requirements, they are a little bit more complex and well-defined than the program administrator requirements. So again, just like the program administrator, level 1 does not have a specified IPDP requirement, but programs that want to move to level 2 must have IPDPs. And I know that this is, very wordy and very complex, but kind of at a high level, there are specified professional development needs um, of educators that must be hit on uh, by the IPDP in level 2. So I'm going to take you through what those standards are. So again, this is a very complex standards, and I want to break it down. So the standard states that all site coordinators must have an IPDP that is developed in conjunction with the supervisor. So this is not an individual effort. This is a team effort between the site coordinator and their supervisor. And the IPDP professional development needs identified must be in certain areas. And those areas include communicating with families, building relationships with community, overseeing program activities, the curriculum frameworks, diversity, supporting literacy and math, strengthening families' protective factors, and the components of the assessment process that include screening, observation, and use of assessment tools. And those assessment tools are things like the RNet and SAGRS. And lastly, meeting the needs of school-age children with disabilities. So as we look to level 3, so we've touched upon kind of the difference between level 1 and 2. As we look to level 3, the requirements are the exact same as level 2. But as we move to level 4, we see a little bit of complexity added in that all site coordinators have to have an IPDP that ensures professional development in literacy strategies, assessment tools, interpreting data, and strategies for teaching children with special needs and language diversity. So you see kind of an additional layer of targeted areas of professional development at level 4. And again, just like the program administrator, the site coordinators, IPDPs, must build on each level. So in order to achieve a level 4, you will have had to meet all requirements for levels 2, 3, 2, and 1.